Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of OHKO, a Pokemon VGC podcast. So many regionals done and another one coming up this weekend, so we certainly have a lot to talk about today. I'm Sierra Dawn, one of your hosts, joined by my co-host Joe Brown, and so much more to talk about because we have a special guest on today, Mr. Moxie Boosted. Hello, how are you doing, friend? Thanks for joining us.
I'm doing good. I'm a big fan of the podcast. Never listened to it. I just like both of you guys a lot, but I'm a big fan of the podcast in concept.
Yeah, in theory, you like us, not our work.
In theory, this should be my favorite podcast. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. I'm on it, but I haven't heard it yet.
And this will be the first episode you listen to, right?
No.
You're not even going to listen to your own episode?
Why would you want to listen to your own episode? First, you were there. You know what was said. Second,
yeah, I already know what's
back
up.
to your voice. Like,
no.
I listen to every one of ours on YouTube, Spotify. Got to pump those numbers up, you know?
YouTube, Spotify, SoundCloud, Google Drive.
Google Drive. Dang, that's a good one. Facebook, Tumblr, all the good stuff. But going on to today's episode, of course, we're going to be talking about the upcoming Toronto Regionals as well as the Lille Regionals that just happened over the past weekend. Of course, we're going to talk about Marcus over here and the YouTube success, what he's up to, the wacky teams that he does when he does competes, all that good stuff. Get to know a little bit more about that weirdo over there that's joining us. And
is my camera on for the video? Am I visible?
You are visible, yes.
Incredible. Good.
Well,
I'd say like see this before, you can see yourself on the screen, but
I just thought that was for my enjoyment. I thought maybe it was just to make sure.
I would say about 70% of you is invisible because your face, it's like you're a villain trying to hide your face or something with your microphone placement.
Yeah, it's because I'm currently training a King Gambit, and you know what? No, I'm going to keep it there.
All right.
Yeah, no. Nice. I like this multitasking too. You're on the podcast, but you're also training up Pokemon.
No, believe me, I can't do one thing at a time. I have to do 8.
Yeah. What are the other 6?
Right now I'm breathing. I'm thinking about what I'm going to have for dinner tomorrow. I'm tapping my feet on the ground. I'm also talking to you guys, which is different from podcasting.
And you're building a Paldean and Tauros team.
Yeah, I'm definitely building a Paldean and Tauros team right now. Yeah.
Why Paldean and Tauros?
Oh, we'll save that for my metagame predictions.
Wow, this guy's a professional, Sierra.
I know that's the old like.
You're
gonna have to listen in later, you know, especially because we don't put timestamps on, so you never know what he'll talk about.
Call me a useless piece of transportation because that was a really good segue.
Damn, he came equipped with all the quips. Needless to say, can understand why you're doing this content stuff so well. So congratulations, you just hit 100K too on YouTube. So
yeah,
I think I'm the 4th VGC YouTuber to hit 100K. The first one was Aaron. The second one was what's his name? He used to commentate back in like 2014.
Justin Flynn?
Justin Flynn, yes. He was the second one, but he's been inactive for a while. Then it was Wolfie, and then me, as far as English-speaking content creators go.
And now it's 101,000 and counting. So we're going to start moving up to the next milestone.
Oh yeah, watch out, Aaron. I'm going to get you one of these days, probably not today, tomorrow, or even this year, but maybe if you like stop making videos, I might catch up someday.
One day. You'll have to bribe him, like, hey buddy,
yeah,
hey.
I've given up on passing Wolf. That one's just
one's done. Understandable, yeah.
Yeah.
You just win the world championships, then like you might be able to catch up to Wolf.
Possibly,
honestly.
maybe.
You know, but this YouTube career of yours, like how long has this been in the works? Obviously, like this past year, you've been absolutely popping off.
Yeah, so YouTube is something that I've been like completely obsessed with since I found out what it was. I remember I was in Texas and I was like 7 years old, and my uncle showed me a YouTube video and I went, wow, this website's crazy. And I went home and I went on it every single day. Eventually Let's Play started being a thing. Eventually one day I looked up competitive Pokemon on YouTube because I thought it would be a real thing and I thought it'd be funny. Turns out it is a real thing and it is hilarious. And then I got into it. I started my YouTube channel when I was 16 or 17, I think. And I've been doing it ever since.
I'm trying to figure out because you said you found out what YouTube was when you were 7, and that was kind of like a dagger into my heart. So
I'm a little guy. I'm only 24.
Oof. All right. And I guess we have a lot less in common than I thought. Because
No. I also love I don't know, Deep Purple. You into Deep Purple?
You also from New Jersey. You love chilies and all that.
These are great things.
I love Chili's cocktails.
Okay.
There you go.
We have something in common. All right, we're back on the same page.
Okay. Yeah, we're good.
We made up for it.
You're good. So I feel like too, with the direction of your channel, I feel like a lot more as of lately, you're getting into like these bigger kind of like deeper videos. So there's a lot more effort going into them. But when do you make that transition?
So I think when I figured out that that's probably the best thing for content creation for me, was back in 2021. I was in my senior year of college, and might have been 2022 at that point. No, 2021. About to be 2022. But I released a video because I was at that point, like, just niche information videos were kind of popping off across the board, with speedrunning content, with a bunch of just random stuff. I said, hey, I've been playing VGC long enough. I know niche information about the game. So the first video I dropped was why were players running level 49 Groudon?
I was going to guess that. I was going to guess level 49 Groudon. I remember that video.
That was the first one I dropped where it popped off. It hit like a couple 100,000 views, and I went, oh. Well, lucky me. I love talking about Pokemon. And I have this channel. So I started like drip feeding like these competitive Pokemon lore videos where I would just talk about like little random niche facts about the game over the years. Like, oh, shiny Gyarados was optimal in 2017 because if your opponent wasn't checking what ball it was in, which they won't because that's like a split second you'll miss it thing, they might think that it has bounce, which they have to fear because there's no open team sheets, that sort of thing. So I made a bunch of videos about that. And then eventually I was like, all right, well, I can make these longer. And between like work and stuff, it was unfeasible for me to make these videos. So after working for a little while, finally started my first full-time job after college, and then having YouTube sort of pop off in Generation 9, where I was earning enough money from ad revenue to pay for an editor, I just said, okay, we're going to make these videos now. And it worked out. And I also brought on my buddy Atrix, Michael, on for the thumbnails. And he's a big reason they get clicks in the first place because he is just insane at his craft.
So
the
good.
Go artist. Yeah, we love Atrix.
Yeah. So that's, I owe a lot of my growth to the people around me who helped me, Brady, Professor Germs, and Michael, like my editors and my artists.
I like that at some point in 2021, when the level 49 Groudon video popped off, you're like, people like these Pokemon concept videos more than my Thievel guides. You just like take notes.
see, the thing is, I started using them as a gateway into my like weird team building stuff, because obviously with like the thumbnails, making it so I get more views, and like the editing, making it so people like want to stick around a lot longer rather than just a showdown live. Everyone can make a showdown live. I decided to do like a hybrid kind of video where it's just a heavily edited team builder and then like team tester. And I released these in late 2023, early couple months ago. And I would team build with like Jody, Sempra, Michael, Brady, all these people. I still haven't gotten Joe on. I don't know why I didn't get Joe on. But yeah, so I team build with them, and it's basically just like a top player and a YouTuber make a bad Pokemon work, and then we release the video, and it's like edited and it's like real fun. And yeah, so I'm trying to get the audience who is like into the concept videos also into just general VGC as a concept, like just playing the game and stuff.
I have to ask, like, because I'm like looking through your videos, because for a question I'm asking later, what the thumbnails though, because you're attributing those to like getting the clicks in the first place and stuff, obviously super well made. How do you even think of some of this stuff, though? I'm looking at this Diplin with like these muscles and like this huge hand getting ready to punch. This Pachirisu.
The Pachirisu one is incredible.
You're
Like,
talking about
these are
Kagurapachi?
correct.
You're
These
talking
look
about
like some
Kagurapachi,
nightmare-
right?
Yeah, these look like some weird like nightmare fuels when you were definitely like half out of it. Like, what's going on?
So the best way to explain these is Michael, my artist, and I. So Michael is someone who's been a mutual of mine on Twitter since I was like in my senior year of high school. Never interacted with him. I just saw he was also from Illinois and played Pokemon. So I'm like, I'm gonna follow him. Turns out he's an artist. Met him at Collinsville 2019. Real cool dude. When I graduated college, moved sort of just outside of Chicago. Got to hang out with him more because he was just in the area. And as it turns out, we're the same dude, exact same dude, like no difference mentally. So I'll have an idea for a video, and I'll message Michael, and it'll be a picture of like Eminem throwing a rat at the camera. I'll be like, we need to use this for a thumbnail, and like we're gonna make a video about like iconic combos in VGC, and the thumbnail. Like when I sent him the picture of Eminem throwing a rat, in my mind, I'm like, it's Primeape throwing Mousehold. And he was just already on it. He already knew. He's like, yeah, Primeape throwing Mousehold.
Okay. Hey, let's
so
go.
he and I
You
just
already have
shared
synergy before you.
Yeah, we have perfect synergy in our minds.
You're sharing your singular brain cell together.
Yeah. So that's where these come from. Is Michael and I will look at a funny image and we'll go, oh, this is hilarious. Like we have an Ursaluna thumbnail where Ursaluna Blood Moon is like zapping a guy with like the beam, right? He's shooting the beam.
Yeah.
That's based off a picture of this dude levitating a pizza with his mind.
Okay, I would not have guessed that based off
Would
of
not
the
have guessed
thumbnail.
that. No.
Absolutely not.
Oh, when you see them side by side, you're gonna lose
No,
it.
that
Oh,
Diplin one is
no.
hilarious. Oh my god, I'm looking at it right now.
Just the look on his face too.
Here it is.
Oh, they're
Hold on.
so
I'm
good.
gonna send this to you guys in the Discord chat just so you can understand.
Just so we can understand, just so we can
Yeah.
take a look. Oh no.
This is the reference for the for the video.
For everybody at home, it is a man with hands on his head, and he straight up is levitating one slice of pizza away from the rest of the slices. It's very impressive,
It
actually.
just gave off Ursaluna Blood Moon energy, and Michael and I both saw that and said, "Yeah, we're doing this."
Like, where's the pizza though in the thumbnail? That's the tragedy.
It's the Blood Moon. He's using Blood Moon. That's the pizza.
That's the. I don't know. I don't
Whatever.
know.
I don't know if that one would hold up in court.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't. But you see, no, we're the ones who get hundreds of thousands of views. It worked.
Whoa. Okay, buddy.
Results
Okay.
over method or whatever. I don't know. I'm tired.
My new goal is to get a video with more views than one of yours, just so I can throw that line right back at you. That's all I'm saying.
I beg you, please.
That's
The
all
burden I carry on my shoulders is too great. No, I'm kidding.
That's the fourth
Yeah.
largest VGC.
As the fourth largest VGC channel, I get asked a lot, how do you bear the massive weight of the community on your shoulders?
Well, okay, I do actually have a question revolving around that because unfortunately for you, I've seen you tweet about it. You are unfortunately a lot of times associated as like the bastion of the uncompetitive Pokemon in VGC. And a lot of times people will say, like I brought up your Thievul or other strategies you've used, like, oh, well, Moxie got X to work, so therefore my Spinda, strategy is viable. So like how do you handle that pressure that like you were trying to make a name for yourself using fun, creative strategies in Pokemon, and now you kind of are like related to Karen from the Elite Four, like you're her cousin that
now I'm Karen's cousin.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's an interesting thing. So my whole deal is when I was like bad at the game, I personally think I'm pretty good now. I can get points pretty consistently. And I can build pretty well. But I build basically kneecapping myself by putting like a Thievul on my team. And it's just how I like to play the game. It's how I get maximum enjoyment out of it. And it also just gets views when it works out. My team building philosophy has always been, you can use these bad Pokemon on a team, but make sure that you're not just using a worse version of something that already exists. So an example of this is I qualified for Players Cup 2 with a Thievel team. And Thievel's niche is the unburdened dude who bypasses psychic terrain, so you're able to go for fake tiers and get like super effective psychics off. Or not super effective, but double damage psychics off. I also had it have beat up because you can beat up a Terrakion, and I qualified with that online, streamed the whole thing, and it was a fun team, right? The next Players Cup I failed to qualify for, and that's because I had a regular team with a choice banded Urshifu on it, and I really wanted to use Absol. And I put a choice banded Absol on there, and I said, "This'll be fine." I'm clicking Sucker Punch most of the time, anyways. And lo and behold,
Same thing.
I lost because I just had a worse Urshifu on my team. Same attack stat, but every other stat is not there. Doesn't have the right ability, that sort of thing. Meanwhile, Flying Falcon 7 qualified with an Absol with a very high ranking by using a crit Stone Edge set to beat Charizard G-Max. And I'm like, I really should have taken my own advice here.
Yeah.
So my deal is like I like building with these Pokemon. It's what I like to do. It's good for content. I would never advise to bring one to a tournament and expect to get points if you're going to do that. And I basically just have to explain to people like, making it work and having it be good are two completely different things. I can make things work. I can't make things be good.
Like
things are good inherently. Wo-Chen, I will stand by the fact that it was a good metagame call, but no one was able to build the right team until Joe came around. And I know it was a good metagame call because for the entirety of Regulation D, I was telling Joe, you should use Wo-Chen. It's really good. It's the only Pokemon who can stop crits from Urshifu because, besides Burn, because there's no good Will-O-Whispers in that format. Grimmsnarl screens don't stop the crits. Intimidate doesn't stop the crits. And it's especially important with Chien-Pao running around because it does even more damage than usual. So I said, hey, Terra Water Wo-Chen or Terra Poison Wo-Chen. This is an actual option for decreasing damage from Dragonite and everything across the board. It bypasses all these abilities. Mm-hmm. Joe says, no, that's dumb. And then he takes it to Worlds.
Sounds like Joe. Yeah.
That's actually exactly. Yeah. There has been times where I've told him an idea and he just like laughs or he's like, no, or like, that's dumb. And then all of a sudden, like a week later, he's like, yo, I talked with NJ and this is what we came up with. And it's the same thing I said a week ago. The one that always bugs me was I said that you should run a more specially attack invested Porygon with 3 moves on it instead of like the recovered Trick Room. Just like, no. We're Ice Beam, we're Tri Attack, we're Thunderbolt, like just go for it.
Yeah.
No, that's dumb. A week later, okay, you're not gonna believe this Porygon that we're building, but this is it.
Oh my god.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. No, so if there's one thing that I'm proud of is like I might not get like consistent results, but I'm gonna be honest, that has to do more with me just liking to show up to events to hang out. And I like to bring fun stuff. This year I'm taking it more seriously. I showed up to Peoria with a pretty normal team, did pretty okay. And now I have all the time in the world to practice. But what I'm really proud of is my metagame calls. So some calls from the previous season that I was completely right about. 1, Wo-Chen in the end. It ended up being pretty decent. But 2, I was a Palafin hater from day 1, especially in Regulation C, where I'm partially responsible for the rise of Fissure Tinglu. I'm sorry. But I was saying that, like, why are we using Palafin when we have Gyarados, an Intimidator that does positive into the exact same things that Palafin does positive into, but also has Speed Control, Thunder Wave, and literally could not care less about Tinglu, which is the most important Pokemon in the format right now. Lo and behold, everyone said I was dumb. I got ratioed on Twitter. And then after like 2 Regulation C events, where's Palafin? Where did it go? It was all Gyarados, and I was completely right. The other thing that's really funny that I don't share as much was at what was the last Regulation B event? Was that Charlotte? It was Charlotte.
Yeah, because the next week was Fort Wayne, which was the first one in
Regulation C. Yeah, so at Charlotte, there was a day 2 Regulation C event because it was the last day of the format. And I'm doing pretty well. I end up at the top tables for a couple of rounds. And then I get paired into Yotam. and Yotam and I are just talking, just passing the time after our game's over. And I mentioned to him offhandedly, hey, I was thinking about this event that's going on tomorrow, and me and my buddies were labbing Choice Band Dragapult with Chien-Pao, just because it does positive into D-Knight Chien-Pao, which is something that we know is really good from the preseason before we knew what Regulation A would be. And it's just like a solid Pokemon. Clear body, faster than everything, doesn't care. Good. You can even do Terra Steel as like a good defensive Terra.
Yeah.
So the next event, Justin Tang wins with the exact same concept that I was talking about. And then afterwards, in a tweet, I think Justin says, shout out to Yotam for the advice and team building. And I was like,
Wow.
no one's ever going to believe me except for the people in my Airbnb.
You got that hockey assist on the Justin Tang tweet, the secondary assist.
Yeah.
Because I was going to ask, like, are you really the format whisperer, or do you and Justin Tang think great minds think alike? Because he also had the Gyarados, right? I think Paul Chua also had some similar strategies. So
I think I'm just the Nostradamus of VGC metagame calls, but like I also have like such wacky team building ideas that when I'm serious about something, it's almost like a boy who cried wolf thing. You know what I mean? Like, because I use all these wacky team ideas, when I actually tweet something serious, people are like, okay, but is he real here?
Not next regional I'm competing at, I'm just going to like message you a couple weeks out and be like, all right, what's the meta call? And I'll probably take it seriously, So I believe you. I believe you. Especially too, because you built me that Heat Weeping Bell team, right? So
okay, but that one was, that one was for Joe.
That's true. That was a good team though. Though I'm surprised though, because for anyone listening, it was Marcus who built that Weeping Bell team that I got to play on stream at Sacramento. But then you're like, oh, why do a worse Pokemon that like does the same thing as a better Pokemon? And the original concept was Victory Bell.
No,
and
but
that
I was
went
right
down into Weeping Bell.
No, you misunderstand, Sierra. Victory Bell always drops to Choice Spec Shadow Ball, and it always drops to Ivy Cudgel. It does not have the bulk. Weeping Bell, on the other hand, with the Eviolite and Terra Dragon, can deal with both Ogerpon and Fluttermane. That was the real niche we found.
Is definitely something. That was a fun team. That was a fun little.
Oh yeah, I mean it was meant to be goofy, but it was still funny.
It was
going to use the other sleep, sun sleep powder, like Lilligan, and like when Venusaur comes back. Like you didn't need to go down the Weeping Bell line.
I don't know. It's the only one with strength step.
Yeah.
It did win a game on stream.
It very
did. Even if it dropped turn 1, it won a game on stream.
It's like
it
Luigi.
The second one.
Luigi winning by doing nothing.
Yes.
Hey, and like the game it won, I also lost. So I don't know. I also threw. But like it be what it is. But Marcus, I want to turn this back on you with the YouTube because I was curious. I wanted to ask before we get along too far into Regulation E stuff, talk about the past Lille Regionals. I want to know, out of all the videos that you've done on this journey to 100K, which has been your personal favorite for any reason?
I would say the history of OHKO moves, which doesn't have a lot of views comparatively to the rest of them. Because it's a video that you probably might have not seen because I think it's sitting at like 60K. And it's just a video where I go through every single time an OHKO move was common in VGC. This includes 2017 Gastrodon because it didn't have access to any real good ground moves. This also included AV Kartana occasionally running Guillotine. And then in the final moments of the video, I say, also, I'm pretty sure Fissure Ting Lu is going to be meta defining. Because it came out just before the format.
And then there was that one event where it was everywhere.
Yeah. Which a few people messaged me saying it was because I released a video where I used it, and because a lot of people, it's their first year playing, probably saw the video, and then it just ended up being a thing.
You're an inspiration. But also, you say you probably haven't seen it. I did see that video because I do watch a lot of your videos. I think you make a lot of great content. I like when you have those people on, like you team build with them. I think you had like Jody and Stefan and, Michael and other people. And I know you made a second channel for like mainly VGC gaming. So is that the intention that this main channel is going to be the historical, contextual theory Pokemon concept videos, and then the second channel is going to be the gameplay.
Yeah, so I actually I don't know if we mentioned this yet. I'm going full time with YouTube now. And because of that, I'm actually able to release daily battle stuff now again. I can do both. So the second channel is literally just going to be like, oh, hey, Roaring Moon wheezing is a thing now. Let's use it on ladder, like that sort of thing. So yeah, the second channel's for that, but the main channel now has completely transitioned to concept videos, basically.
Well, you know, if you ever run out of guests to bring onto the second channel, you know,
I've been waiting, Joe. I've been waiting.
I really thought, because like when you said your favorite video was the OHKO video, and like, oh, you know, he's pandering to us, you know.
Oh no, I completely forgot the name of this podcast. Like I said, I forgot. I've never seen this show.
So then the other, like, if your follow up was going to be, oh, and my second favorite video was Joe Brown's Moon Room team, like, okay, now he's just playing to his audience, you know.
No, I am serious. The OHKO video is my favorite.
What about the Moon Room team though?
The Moon Room team? Oh, we don't talk about the Moon Room team.
What do you mean? It was cracked. You won.
It's all right. It was all right.
Hey, are you gonna take that?
I guess I have to. He's got 101,000 subscribers.
Sure,
and I'll sick them on you.
He's got the whole community at his back. We can't dare.
I have the whole community and some people who don't know what VGC is, but just like the videos, which is a good amount of people who watch my channel now.
Is it because
my key light fell?
I was gonna go for the roast. I can't roast guests. That's not allowed. I'm only allowed to roast your bound, but it's all good.
I think you can get one roast an episode. I think that's a fair system.
One roast per episode.
Yeah, of a guest.
It's the reason that people that don't know VGC are watching your channel. It's because anyone who does know VGC know that it's not a channel.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. That was a well worth it one roast an episode.
The thing is, I kind of agree.
Oh no.
But you know what? But you know what? Sempra told me that I was the guy he watched before he went to his first region. I was like, dang. You know, a broken clock's right twice a day, I guess.
There you go.
There you go. That's all that matters, right? But
yeah.
Hey, if we're gonna talk about regional winners, then we should talk about the past regional that just happened, because we are in the regional season. There is Peoria, Sacramento, and now Lille just went down. So I didn't personally get a chance to watch any of it yet. So have you guys?
I watched the finals because I just kind of had free time. Farigiraf, another second place victory. Shout out Farigiraf.
I like this. I like the description of a second place victory. I like where we're going here.
Well, we call it a second place victory because Farigiraf, I don't believe, has ever gotten a victory, but it's gotten a few second places.
Right, second at World, second this weekend. I know. Brian Yum just won a PC with Farigiraf over the weekend, but
that doesn't count. He used it out of spite.
that is true, because he was the one that had to eat a shoe if it won Worlds.
I sent him so many edible shoe listings, and I said, "Bon appetit, Brian."
He dodged a bullet. He actually dodged a bullet on that one. But
I would have sent him the shoe, like the edible shoe. I would have paid for it just to see him do it.
Oh no. Now you have next Worlds for that, where it's getting all the second places to wait. But yeah, it was Aurelian Sula getting second place with a Farigiraf, and then it was Simone Sanvito to win the return of Torn. And Jerome, you're saying that this team, interestingly enough, has no like Reg E Pokemon on it, like anything introduced with Reg E.
Right. There's possibility Simone just turned his Switch off after Japan and never picked it up again until Lille and just brought the same team. I don't know, because there is no Ogerpon, there's no Milotic, Sinistra, Blood Moon Ursaluna, Komodo, like these things that were added in the Kitakami decks are not present on Simone's team. So obviously it's not like the format change was that drastic, right? Where some of the strong Pokemon like Landorus was going to be good in Regulation D or E. But I just think it's a cute little note, like when people win Regulation C events with the Regulation B team or D&C, you understand the example. I think it's a cute story.
I think that, so with basically the top two teams having no new Pokemon on them, I think that is just a testament as to even though like power creep is definitely a thing throughout each generation, it almost feels like after we got the paradoxes and then after we got like the home Pokemon, power creep sort of evened out. Like everything is at about the same power level as we expect to in like a national dex format, even though we're not quite there without the DLC coming out. And it mainly has to do, in my opinion, with Urshifu. Urshifu was the ceiling of power creep in the game for me. At least before restricted Pokemon are considered. Because if we actually just look at like the results of like the previous tournaments, the first Regulation E event, Peoria, am I right? Yeah, Peoria. We saw there was like heavy Ogerpon usage. There was a lot of like new tools in Top Cut, but the top two teams both had Urshifu, James and who was it?
Luca.
James and Luca. They both had the Urshifu. And it's because it's a Pokemon that hits through Protect, doesn't care about Intimidate in a metagame where there's no burns. It's always going to be reliable. And I think that, like, because Urshifu is a Pokemon where we know, like, the partners that it needs, it wants Tailwind support, it wants Flutter Mane at its side because, like, the teams are usually all physical attackers beyond the Flutter Mane. It wants the Chien-Pao to increase the damage output across the board. Then the last two Pokemon are more or less, like, glue. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as like Regulation E is concerned, we didn't really get any new glue Pokemon. All of our glue Pokemon were from the previous formats. So that's why I think that we just see like these Regulation C team or Regulation D teams just doing so well in Regulation E. They still work, you know?
I think that's really cool. I actually want to go with Joe Brown's theory of Sanvi literally just turning off his Switch after Worlds, because this is actually the exact same 6 that he ran, and it's actually a very, very similar team. There's a couple of small changes, like items and Terras, but like beyond that, it is the exact same team. So,
It is possible.
I feel
It's
so
completely
validated
wrong.
right now. Thank you, Sanvi. Moxie's got like this like great meta analysis and like all these. Oh, if you understand at this deep of blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I think he just never turned his Switch on and showed up in Lille.
we just got met with an email. Just I didn't have a team ready, so I just used the World's team. To be fair though, I mean, like, all the pieces are there, you know. It's not like anything got much stronger after Urshifu showed up, so you could just take I think you could take any old Regulation D team and do well in Regulation E, you know?
Yeah, I don't disagree, because I mean, the amount of cores that are still good going on forward, it just literally just goes on how you want to build a team. Like, I'm not too surprised, because like seeing even the Regulation E teams that come out, like, it's not like it's full Regulation E stuff. I think the most surprising thing, if anything, is no Ogerpon, but obviously with Waterpon in comparison to Urshifu, like, you don't need both. So you can just kind of go either or. Plus, it's actually really interesting. Oh no, that's the Worlds team, not the Lille version. I was gonna say, like, this Urshifu had Taunt on it, which I think is cheeky.
No.
that was the Worlds version. Sambi dropped it for Lille, so apparently it wasn't as higher as I thought it was, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I feel like the taunt, like we talked about it, Sierra after Worlds with Shohei winning with taunt on Urshifu to, you know, just it was safety goggles taunt and just anti Amoonguss, and it was, we looked on Pikalytics, like taunt was not even in Urshifu's top 10 usage moves, and he uses that to win Worlds, and well, how's that going to affect everything? And we had multiple Regulation D events after Worlds, and taunt Urshifu really never picked up in the in popularity. So it's one of those cases that like something wins Worlds or something performs well, and like we actually don't adapt to that new thing in the taunt. They left it on other Pokemon, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, like taunt, like I'm curious if we're gonna see a big reawakening of taunt going on future, because setup things are super strong right now. I feel like that's kind of being super disrespected. So sure, maybe in like NA Amoonguss is out, but there's still other reasons that taunt is actually very necessary. Should be.
Yeah, I think the thing is though, with Urshifu in this format, it's like, all right, so like the things that like are setting up in this format, they're Ogerpon Fire, and sometimes Ogerpon Water will actually run Swords Dance. They usually follow me though. And then it's also like King Gambit with Swords Dance, right? I think the reason we don't see Taunt in the current in the current iteration of the game is literally just because you get more value out of Urshifu just hitting them because the two setup mons are weak to it, you know?
Yeah.
Where
And
before, you know,
there being dark types too, right? Swords Dancer Shifu, Dark, and King Gambit as well. I think most people kind of pigeonhole taunt users into the prankster role on a team, and that those are two prevalent Pokemon that are immune to that taunt at all times.
mm-hmm. Also, I mean, we saw like in tournament, like there is sort of a resurgence of hard trick room going on. It's been getting some results, at least like on not like a regional level, but I know like in other events we have seen like some pretty well performing hard trick room teams. And I just noticed it also just like in my regional experience, I faced hard trick room so many times. I think having like a non-prankster taunt's really important because at the very least gives you an option into like Indeedee Armarouge where Tornadus isn't able to stop those things. And also with Chen Pao right now not really running Ice Spinner because just the sheer value you get out of Icicle Crash, having a matchup into those things in taunt could actually be just a super valuable tool that people aren't looking at yet.
It's basically just Riley Factura that's still running Ice Spinner just because it's the 100% accurate, no other, nothing else.
Yeah.
Everyone else is kind of like moved along like, no, we just like high damage moves. So.
And I like flinching.
Yeah. Also, if you hit the move, that's the whole, spin off. I've been really annoyed with like the amount of Trick Room going around. Like Regulation E brought new Trick Room tools, and we kind of went away from I have to have a way to stop Trick Room on my team mode, so they kind of just get to do what they want.
Yeah. Honestly, I think like what's the biggest new Trick Room tool? Sinistcha is like Focus Sash Sinistcha is like a less common like Trick Room setter right now, but that is like a factor. I think it's really just like Ursa Blood Moon, isn't it? That's like the biggest change. But even then, it doesn't change Trick Room too much because a lot of Trick Room teams at the moment, at least the one that's been running around with the Indeedee Armarouge, Choice Band Urshifu, or Choice Scarf Urshifu, like the Ursaluna that they run is the regular Ursaluna. So I don't know. Like we did get new Trick Room tools, but they're not like Dusclops. That's the big one.
A higher priority than I think people are definitely sleeping on Dusclops right now.
Yeah, I think Dusclops is definitely something that I'm like kind of concerned about. And I think what makes Dusclops so good is that it is one of the few Pokemon in the metagame that not only can run Will-O-Wisp, but wants to run Will-O-Wisp, where everything else, like the Arcanines, it's like, okay, I'm dropping Protect, or I'm losing the ability to run like a Choice Band, or all these other like options. Where Dusclops is just like, yeah, no, I come pre-equipped with Will-O-Wisp. That is my second best move behind Nightshade, you know? So like that's huge. Also, Iron Hands everywhere. The average HP stat in the game in Generation 9, I don't know if this is just me like hyperbolizing. Does it feel like Pokemon just have higher HP across the board in this format? Like Urshifu, Heatran, Iron Hands. Pain Split is a menace. That thing's base HP is what, 40? It gets full HP off of like half health Iron Hands.
Actually, don't look at the HP bars nearly as much as I should. But apparently nobody is with how lacking Dusclops still kind of is in the format right now. I think the highest placing at Lille was 19th place. And then the next one is down at like 50 or something. Like
I just think it's slept on. I just think people aren't using it.
Well, asking you shall receive, Moxie, because you're asking for more taunt users, and we actually have one here. It's from finished 18th from France, Baptiste Kendau, with a Trick Room team, Oranguru, Enamorus, Armarouge Indeedee, Blood Moon, and taunt Ogerpon Cornerstone, the rock type, with Ivy Cudgel, Woodhammer, Taunt, and Follow Me.
I'm going to be honest, I stopped listening at Armarouge. It got too scary.
So Ogerpon rock type, right? That's the least utilized version, and I think I can understand how this team, Baptiste team, works here, because it's a fast Pokemon still. They all have that same 110 speed, the Ogerpon. So you have a fast taunt user that's not stopped by Prankster being, immune to dark types there. So no Protect though with Taunt, Follow Me, Woodhammer, and Ivy Cudgel. So that's a pretty cool thing for this team. It has double redirection, right, with Indeedee Female and Ogerpon Cornerstone.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say, like, this Cornerstone Ogerpon, because we did our Ogerpon rating list a few episodes back, and we just said how bad Cornerstone was. At the PC I was at, I got wrecked by Cornerstone Ogerpon.
Really?
And afterwards, like, I was just like, dang, like, that was good. And he's like, yeah, Sturdy is such a good ability. This Pokemon is so good. And I'm just sitting there, like, eating my slice of humble pie, like, oh my god. And it was like, the Sturdy came, I would have won the game if it wasn't for Sturdy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was just like, I had the audacity to say Sturdy was bad, and now I just got wrecked by it. Like, that's what I get. That's what I deserve, frankly.
I think the value of Sturdy literally only works for Ogerpon Cornerstone. Right, so I think the reason we all slept on Ogerpon Cornerstone is because we're like, oh, why would we ever Terra this thing? It's never going to be worth it, you know? Oh, defense boost in a format with Urshifu. Ooh, woohoo, you know? The other one gets a special defense boost so it can take on Fluttermane, and it's already like resisting Urshifu. And then the fire one is just the click button get KO thing, you know?
Yeah.
This one, we're looking at it too much in the framework of like, oh, it needs to Terra. It just doesn't. It's just a 100% accurate rock move with a high crit chance that's 100 base power that also has spiky shield to prevent you from breaking Sturdy, but you need to fake out because you need to break Sturdy. It's just one of those Pokemon where it's like you face it and you go, this will be easy, and then you end up just having to, like Sierra said, just eat your humble pie because it gets you.
Sierra Cornerstone. Cornerstone might have to be our next OHKO team paste in the Discord we're working on. But we got to finish this first one off, and that's why I need Moxie here for this. We'll get back to the Leo conversation in a second. But you are a Pheasantipity connoisseur. You posted a bunch of videos when the Loyal 3 came out about it in best of threes and stuff. A bunch isn't two. I would count that as once. Exactly. So you know everything there is to know about Pheasantipity.
Yes, certainly, yes.
In our Discord, we're working, anyone who wants to join our Discord, be a part of the community, we're working together to build a Pheasantipity team. So what would your recommendation be to steer us in the right direction?
You know Glimdozo?
You literally just put Pheasantipity on instead of Glimora?
Just put Pheasantipity over Glimora. It's less reliable, but it gets you, I don't know.
No.
It gets you Icy Wind.
That's not very fun.
No.
That's not the fun answer I was looking for, Moxie.
So what I have been like, so we talked about this, and what I keep going on to, and then people keep taking the teams in different directions because everyone has different ideas, and I'm like, no, we're straying too far away from this, is I liked the idea of Icy Wind, Toxic Chain, with then a Hex user. So you slow everything down, and you just bop them once you poison them. That is all I want to do.
Are you going to tell her? Are you going to tell her, Joe?
Well, I'm the one making the teams.
No, this is literally the team that I built around it. This is exactly that's the first thing that I made. Pheasantipity is the first thing I built. Hold on, let me open up.
Send us the paste then.
Okay, geez, the team works good, by the way. It was actually pretty decent. Because it's just good stuff, but with a Hex Flutter on it.
Yeah, we have choice specs there. But then, okay, let's see the rest of this team, because we also have Magma Storm Heatran to like force things to stay in and rack up the toxic damage. Did you have a Heatran?
Yes, actually. No, wait, hold on. I'm sending you the team. Hold on. You know that this is legit? You know this is legit because I didn't have time to change this.
Okay, let me see. We did not have Rillaboom. We did not have Chimpao, Pheasantipity, Flutter with choice specs. Yep.
Yeah,
we did not have Urshifu.
Remember
this is different than our team. This is different than our team.
I know, but we had the same concept of the Hex user and the Pheasantipity and also the Magma Storm Heatran.
Well, I think it just shows that we're on the right path, Sierra. Because if this is what Marcus came up with, then like we're. Oh,
also it's not drum beating; it's Grassy Glide. My bad.
That's okay.
See, well, last time I looked, our team had Gothitelle on it.
It did.
What are you doing?
Further try. I don't like the Gothitelle. I think
we can drop I've said it in Discord multiple times. We can. I put Gothitelle there so that if Magma Storm missed or wasn't able to use it, they can still still forced to take the poison every turn from Shadow Tag. That was the idea.
See, maybe I just have like an all or nothing team building, but I'm not looking for my team to be good against everything in the field. I'm looking for when I have that gotcha moment that I actually wreck somebody's day and they turn off their Switch and they stop playing Pokemon for the night.
I had a gotcha moment at a regional recently.
You sure did.
We'll get to that. We'll get to that. I'm just saying this team, I just want it to poison a bunch of stuff and then Hex everything. All of this stalling and keep Pokemon in so they rack up damage. No, just Toxic Chain all this stuff. Poison all this stuff, And then you can have your Flutter Mane and Hex everything. They kill one of the Pokemon. Screw it. Throw another Hex Pokemon in.
Sarah, do you want to just use the
this would be
team I
good.
sent? That it's exactly what you're looking for. It does that.
Does it have 2 Hex users?
It can. Well, actually, no. The Pheasantipity is the other Hex user because I gave it Venoshock.
Venoshock. Yes, they would literally just be those 2 Pokemon, and then if something died, I'd just be like, oh, well, it is what it is. Like that is all I want to do.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm okay with getting rid of Gothitelle. I've been asking people in the Discord to come up with a better 6-mon in that slot, so we just haven't gotten there yet.
No, I'll post 6 Pokemon. I cannot say it'll be good. Like I said, it's all or nothing. I just want to hex the things. That is it.
Well, we know
But
it's
we'll do
Ogerpon
that.
Cornerstone. That's what's going in Sierra's 6th slot.
I'm 2
Well,
for 2
unfortunately,
on selling
doesn't-
Sierra on teams.
Yeah, we came up like, what do you mean, like selling me on team? I didn't know that you built this team, and this was a concept that right out of the gate. What we were talking about it at, was it Peoria? When we were walking down the street and we were trying to sell Ugarte on the team, we're like, this team would be heat, and he's like, no, you guys are dumb. Like,
Well, yeah, in Peoria, but then also like even in
Actually, I don't think I
even
got
in
to hang out with
Pittsburgh,
you at Peoria that much. I think. Did I?
We talked about it in a prior podcast
No.
episode, Sierra, when we the DLC episode where we talked about it after Pittsburgh. We were looking at the Loyal 3's abilities and stuff, and we came up with, we were like, did we just win Peoria when we thought of the idea? So we've had it's in the back burner for a couple months.
Gotcha.
it's been there. It's been there. So don't try to say you sold me on teams. I will steal your team and I will make it and I will still run it. But
That's
you
2
didn't
in a
sell
row.
me. You have to let me know when Slitherwing.
Oh, I'm working on that. And I'll have you know,
Yeah.
it's harder to build than literally Weepinbell. Weepinbell's doing better than Slitherwing right now.
I can
Slitherwing's
believe
in
that.
a really tough spot right now. Slitherwing.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, what does
Right.
Slitherwing do? It gets to think it can click first impression, and then you remember that Ogerpon always has spiky shield, so then you lose your first impression, and then then what? It's Slitherwing is literally the okay, what now? That is its playstyle. It's what now?
Yeah, it's kind of sad. I kind of want to try and do Slitherwing, but put Leech Life on it because, like, shoot, if I don't get to go first anyways, I might as well just like get stuff back. But it's also like suffers from that you have to Terra it problem because it's literally like the worst typing in the game. So
Is Faint +1 or +2 priority?
+2.
I don't know off the top of my head. I'm being honest. I don't want to say the wrong thing on the internet. We all know how that goes. We see your YouTube comment section, you know.
Oh yeah, no, it's bad.
I thought it was +2, but it very well could be +1.
I think it's
I'm not sure.
+1. So I was gonna say maybe you could pair it with a Faint user and then Choice Band Terrabug, first impression something, but I don't know if you can.
I want to say +1 because I would imagine E-Speed would go first, right? And that's +2. So I think Faint's +1.
Why did they make
I don't know.
E-Speed 80 base power and you can click it all you want, but first impression, no, only the first turn, and it's a bug move.
Because they hate Slitherwing. Oh, so Faint is +2.
Okay.
Sierra's always right. Let's go.
Well,
Okay,
she did
so-
just top 4 PC, so I would trust her.
I did.
Okay, so let's think about this critically. What Pokemon get Faint in this format that are strong and good and strong? Sierra, it's not gonna happen.
Monkey Dory?
Gallade,
Talonflame.
Gallade basically made top 8 at Sacramento.
Asterisk.
Basically, yeah. In spirit. You know, it could be argued that losing the Gallade is the reason that they made top 8 because
Yeah, because then
didn't
Brian didn't have
bring
to
it.
think about bringing it, yeah.
yeah, there was never the temptation. It's
It
like
started using real
it's like when you're
Pokemon.
trying to like not have cookies, so you put the cookies in the top shelf, and it's like, oh, you know, out of sight, out of mind. Well, Gallade was literally out of team, no issue.
Like
Yours
Brian
was- yeah.
had like day 1, he had like the Goku like weighted clothing on day
Yeah.
1 with all the heavy workout with the Gallade on the team, and then day 2 took the heavy workout clothes off, just the real 5 Pokemon that were on the team and got top 8 with it.
Exactly.
Oh, poor Brian just getting the drive by right now. Especially too, He commented on the
I know, I was
last
so
episode
happy.
when we were talking about him losing the Scalade. He just goes, I did break the law without knowing, and then call the cops on myself. Thanks for the kind word, guys. I'll check the rules next time.
Brian's
To be
great.
fair, it was named Ceruledge with quotations. That is not the right name.
But the
I
intent
think it
is
has
there.
to be.
The
So I
intent is for it to be named another Pokemon, so it's still
I
breaking
think
the spirit of the rule.
if there is
Uh,
like a space or like a something
Sir
in between the
Ruledge.
name, so it wasn't spelt exactly, but an asterisk before and after isn't enough of a deviation. Like if you take the asterisk away from like a Chi or
Right,
whatever.
that's what somebody asked me they asked me, it was like, oh, what if I name something Flu Tier Man and it's not Fluttermane? I'm like, well, you're going through a lot of effort to just not name something another Pokemon like to begin
Yeah.
with, so it's not
Yeah.
worth it. The joke is not worth it at that point. And also, like, you are still kind of, your intention is to circumvent the rule, right? So like you're still doing something against the spirit of the rule. So
And it's like, even if it's like just to be funny, like it's still just against the rules. And like, honestly, a judge could just look at that and be like, what was the point? Take it away. Like,
Yeah.
it's not worth ever risking or doing,
It's a
right?
watch it, pal moment.
It's like
Yeah.
when people like make a switch, like a new account, and they name it literally one of the Jenning bots,
Yeah.
even
so
though the
stupid.
Pokemon's legit, but the OT is, legit.
It's meant to like dangle like a carrot in front of like the rules, like
yeah.
hey.
Like you're gonna get your fingers bit off, like as simple as that. Like you're dangling the fish in front of the shark. Like it's not, it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. But
Oh, I need to ask you guys your opinion on something, and I need you to answer at the same time.
Okay.
King Gambit. Which item is optimal on it? A, black glasses, or B, the dread plate? Answer now.
dread plate, because he be eating.
I don't know. I think black glasses look cool. So I don't know why we all got on this dread plate train recently. What happened?
I don't know. I was talking to Luca about it because Luca's the King Gambit guy. And he told me that plates are for eating off of and you shouldn't bring them to a battlefield. But I told him that glasses are for nerds and that if my King Gambit... and I told him that my King Gambit's already pressing 4 plates at the gym. Why can't he press 1 more during the battle?
Or he's eating
my
and
God.
he's eating up the competition, right? So he needs to bring a plate with him.
Exactly.
Was Luca's black glasses opposed to dread plate?
He's black glasses, yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I thought he swapped. I'm probably thinking of somebody else. Somebody else made the swap over.
Well, I mean, he's black glasses because, Arceus wasn't available in the game, so the dread plate wasn't when, I think it was Charlotte, where King Gambit had its, like, big moment with Luca.
Well, yeah. With Luca, he had a couple regionals in a row. He top 8'd with the black glasses King Gambit, and then obviously capstoned with Ugarte winning Portland, right? So
Yeah.
I'm just
Such a good
trying to-
Pokemon. Doesn't even need coverage moves.
Great. I thought you were going to ask about Assault Vest. Like, go back to a couple formats ago where that was the question. I missed the old Assault Vest days, but you can't really run AV King Gambit because you have to have AV Iron Hands on your team.
I just like that we can just hit things now. I like that King Gambit goes, oh, resisted hit, never heard of it, and then just KOs you anyways. King Gambit pushes the limits of what a resisted hit is.
King Gambit is actually just so annoying because you screw up one turn of the battle and let them swords dance, and then all of a sudden you're in the worst sucker punch game of your life because he's gonna hit ya. Simply put, so
Good.
No, I don't.
Just run Iron Hands. There are 2 teams. There's Team Iron Hands and Team King Gambit, and they're always fighting.
I'm on neither.
No, I miss the old King Gambit, as in Bisharp, as in 2015. Back in my day, when
back in my day, when Sucker Punch was 80 base power instead of 70.
Not just Gen 5, Gen 6 also.
I know. I used to be a Honchkrow enthusiast. I hated it when it got nerfed.
Bisharp at +1 would one hit would OHKO Landorus after the Defiant boost. So those were the days. But unfortunately, Mega Mawile and a bunch of other disruptors with Sucker Punch forced the base power nerf out of it. So it is what it is. But
it's a real Smeargle Dark Void situation.
No, yeah, for sure. Like that was when it just stayed on dark types like Absol or Bisharp at the time. Like it was doing its job, but really kind of got out of control in some other spots. But I don't know. It was like King Gambit's a Pokemon that I didn't think needed to exist because I never looked at the Bisharp line thinking it was incomplete. But I'm very happy that we now have King Gambit, you know?
Oh,
and it's like,
he's just so cool. He's just
so awesome.
that cool.
My biggest issue is why is he sitting down? Like
on his own hair. His hair is a throne.
That's uncomfortable. Like I know y'all have like short hair, so you don't understand.
No.
Like sitting it's uncomfortable.
King Gambit is the only Pokemon so powerful he can be sitting and have a stance at the same time. His stance is insane. He's always got one shoulder, he's got one elbow on his knee, and he's looking at you like you come to him on the day of his daughter's wedding, asking for him the swords dance. And he does. He does it because he owes you a favor, and then he gets the KO. I love King Gambit.
That also kind of just looks like an old man with his back hurting and
he is an old man.
Like,
he is an old man.
Like, it's just
he's a grizzled warrior.
I just think he looks a little silly. That's all. Just give him an actual throne as opposed to sitting on the hair. Like I don't know. That was so silly. That was so unnecessary.
He's got a chair. He's got to carry his chair around with him.
Yeah,
like he's at Comic-Con or something.
Yeah, he's got
those people that bring their chairs in lines.
What is his like animation when he comes out? Does he like hit the field and then takes out the chair? He flips out the fold out, puts it down. No, it's just his hair. It's both more convoluted yet more simple.
But like. Can you imagine like how much styling you have to do in your hair for it to be that stiff that you could sit on it?
He doesn't. Like it's just an evolutionary thing.
It's just like I don't know. It's not hair. Like I don't know what he's doing over there.
You know what? It's iron filings. That's why he's steel type.
It still sounds uncomfortable, and he still just looks so dumb. It all circles back around.
I don't think he looks dumb. I think he looks badass actually. So
I think he looks hard.
You also think Cerulege and Armor
I was cool. Waiting for it. Exactly.
Oh well, no, that's a rare Joelle there.
I'm sorry. The two Pokemon designed to look cool, I find cool. You know what? I'll take the L, I guess.
You know what? I think the coolest looking Pokemon in Generation 9 is hands down Skeledirge. I think Skeledirge has the hardest design in the game.
Except for his tail. His tail looks like, I don't know like what's going on with like the stump thing at the end, but other than that, he looks pretty cool.
He's beautiful.
Got the little bird. He's got the little bird.
I thought you were going to say like
good.
His face is a runway
or something.
Okay, do you thought I was going to say what?
Low kicks that bug.
No, what?
I thought that's what you were going to say is the cool. He's got like, you know, like chainsaw arms
you
or
must
something.
think something's wrong with me.
I'm not surprised that you would think that Pokemon's cool though. He's got chainsaw arms.
No, I thought that was going to be Moxie. Awesome. I thought that was Moxie's answer. I thought that's what he was going to say.
Joe, are you into Gundam?
I mean, like, passively. I saw the Gundam in Yokohama.
Okay, yeah, no. That's why you're into, like, Armor Rouge and Low Kicks and Cerulege. That's your aesthetic.
I do like mechas, yeah. There's some other
that's
mechas
your aesthetic.
I watched,
you like the cool aesthetic, which is weird that if you say cool, like, if you walk up to someone and you go, I like cool Pokemon. They know what you mean. They might not agree that they're cool, but they know what you mean, you know?
Yeah, cool is a word that transfers all, you know, all walks of life. Yeah. We all understand what cool means. So many other words want to be as accurate or applicable as cool is to its category.
Yeah, like let's do like a little mini game here, right? Very quickly. I'm going to say a Pokemon. Just tell me if it's cool or not, right? Okay. But like cool as though like the generally accepted like that's a cool Pokemon. You know what I mean? The
not
vibe.
if you think it's ugly, Sierra. If it's cool.
Just the vibe that you think the Pokemon Company wanted to give off with it.
Okay.
All right. So let's start off with an easy one. Cerulege.
Cool.
Cool, right? Garchomp.
Cool.
Magnezone.
Was that cool? I think that's like slick.
No,
right?
it's
the
not.
Metallic. I wouldn't say that's.
It's not cool, you know, right?
Yeah, Weavile. I would not say that's cool. Weavile is cool.
Weavile is cool, right?
Goated on the cool scale.
Mousehold.
So cool.
No.
you just have
I'm a
one mouse,
big-
but now you have four.
I'm a big nuclear family guy over here.
Yeah, you get what I mean, though, right? Like there are Pokemon that are just meant to be cool.
They just saw that Pikachu was a mouse and how like famous it got, so they said, let's just ×4 that. Here we
Yeah.
go, easy.
Times
And
3 on
give it-
occasion.
And give it the worst
True.
shiny possible.
I mean, have you seen like the Armarouge and whatever shinies? And it's just the eyes.
Somebody should be arrested for Armarouge and Cerulea's shinies. It's unacceptable. All you had to do was color swap it and make shiny Armarouge purple and shiny Cerulea's red, and it'd be the greatest. It'd be up there with green Salamence and pink and blue Sylveon. It'd be right there. But
are you
no,
familiar with the
screw their
Nidoking? Are you familiar with Nidoking and Nidoqueen shinies?
Yeah.
How they're perfectly color swapped up until Nidoqueen.
Oh, with the green? Yeah.
Nidoqueen just randomly turns green.
Yeah.
I have a new theory. It's not okay. So if you're looking at like the history of like Pokemon, so like Ceruledge, Armarouge, they're the typical like cool Pokemon, but their shinies suck. If you actually look back at a lot of cool Pokemon, all their shinies suck. So it's not actually like what we actually think is a cool Pokemon. Just look at if it's shiny, and if it's actually just like the most bland, unoriginal, like uninspiring shiny ever, it's a cool Pokemon.
Wait,
Simply
no, you're
put.
kind of right. Like Lucario.
What? That is an awesome shiny. You are dead wrong.
Garchomp.
Garchomp is where Sierra is correct. I think
That is
you're
so
onto
bad.
something here, because you can also think of Gengar. It wasn't until Mega Gengar that they
actually
and
cool.
Mega
Well, that's
Garchomp
'cause
that
Mega
they righted
Gengar's not
their
cool.
wrong. But they righted their wrong eventually of awful shinies for Gengar and Garchomp. So I think Sierra's onto something here.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Sierra's
that is-
cooking.
The only thing is now Sierra's saying Salamence isn't cool, and I don't know if I can stand behind this.
I don't know if
forget what
Salamence was
Salamence-
meant to be cool. I think it is cool, but it's not
I
meant to
think
be.
it was definitely meant to be cool.
I think it's meant to be goofy.
I gotta
No, it
search
was
up the
not.
shiny.
Maybe
I gotta
Bagon
forget.
was meant to be goofy, but Salamence was definitely not.
Nah, he's goofy.
I don't think this shiny is as bad as the other shinies. At least like it's actually like doing something. You know what I mean?
If you grew up in a certain era of VGC for both Moxie and for Sierra, green Salamence, you could argue, was Salamence's base typing. Like, that is how iconic its shiny was to its viability in VGC compared to base form version. Like, if you saw a Salamence from anywhere from Gen 6 and Gen 7, whatever, like, it was green. If it was on a stream, if it was at, the low tables at a regional, like, that was, it's like an iconically, combined shiny color for a Pokemon.
Because you gotta be stylish. Gotta get all the shinies.
Yeah, like, I think of, like, there's definitely a lot of Pokemon that are like that like, you just can't run if it's not shiny, you know what I mean?
Iron Hands. It's
That-
actually so much better.
That's a
as
great
shiny.
one. Iron Bundle as well.
Iron
Yeah.
Bundle shiny, I think, is mandatory in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that you should get a team error if you don't have the shiny one.
See, I need to catch my shiny one still, but I'm also scared to look for one because a friend of mine, they spent forever to look for a 0 attack shiny Iron Bundle, and it misses every single Hydro Pump. It is literally
Wow.
the most ungrateful Iron Bundle out there, and it's like, can't live without me because I am the 0 attack IV shiny Iron Bundle you spend hours looking for. Sucks to suck. So now I'm scared for the hunt. I'm scared. Doesn't make sense. But I'm scared.
Another Pokemon that's on the scale of, like, it is so iconic as a shiny that the shiny might as well be its base color is
Can I
Mega.
guess?
Go for it.
I heard Mega, but I'm pretty sure you're
It
going to
is-
say Mega Gengar.
No. That's whatever. As you said, it's not
Mega
cool.
Kangaskhan. I actually just
No.
don't know.
No,
Oh,
that's,
you're
that's a
green.
bad shiny, Sierra. That's a.
I don't know what it looks like.
It's like a
didn't
little.
play VGC
It looks
It's
then.
like Mousehold.
It looks sick, but it's not like
Yeah.
sick. It just looks like ill.
No,
Oh.
Mega Metagross.
Nah.
It was always silver and gold. Every
Nah.
Mega Metagross you saw in Gen 6 and
That
7.
is a sick shiny though.
What do you mean, nah?
I don't think it's mandatory.
That's what real life was, though. That's how history was written, was with silver and gold Metagross.
Nah.
Okay, it's just a denier. Maybe your YouTube content will change to some conspiracy theories.
Yeah, I'm just gonna say that like every single Metagross that was shiny and did well at a regional just isn't actually like a real thing that happened. I'm just gonna lie. I'm gonna use my channel to spread misinfo now.
You might as well.
Okay.
Now that you have the audience for it.
Yeah,
You got to take advantage of your power.
I can do damage.
Wait, when did you start playing VGC?
2015 I played passively on like my 3DS. And then 2016 found out what VGC was. Like I just played like battles. To me it was Battle Spot, right? Up until 2016. And then I found out what VGC was, played my first event in 2016 with a Ho-Oh Groudon team at a library in Northern Illinois. And then like my first like real event where I started like learning how to play the game right was probably in 2017.
Gotcha. So you weren't in the trenches in X and Y. I get it. You weren't.
No.
You weren't in there when every Salamence was green and every Metagross was silver and gold.
Goodness. I like how it's just like he denies it, but it actually doesn't change anything for him because like he wasn't playing a part of that era anyway.
No, wasn't a part of it. 2019, that was a Metagross year. Gonna deny it for that one.
Okay.
The only one I'd have to see is was James Beck's Metagross shiny or not. That's what I'd have to figure out.
You'll just have to message him, just like, hey bud, what's going on? Or you can ask him in Toronto, the upcoming regional we have. Damn, that was I just have to give myself kudos on that one. We have been talking about shiny Pokemon for a while here.
James Beck's not going to Toronto.
I
have
he
Discord
would.
in Toronto.
No, I'm joking.
There's internet in Canada. I'll ask him.
I'm joking. I just wanted to ruin the segue.
I was like, he's literally like talking about these food places and like, yo, are you and Agarte coming in on Thursday? I was like,
do improv,
what?
Moxie? You ever hear a yes and?
Yes, and
I mean, I'm just saying, if you just skydive every joke at the end, we got to build each other up here.
Yes, we should build each other up and never tear each other down. Much like how Sierra's about to break down the format going into Toronto.
Make it 102,000 subscribers after that segue.
Yeah.
I'm clicking unsubscribe after like everything I had to deal with so far on this podcast. I don't know what you're talking about. He's down to 10,999. But all right. Now you're talking about Toronto. Yes, there's a regional coming up. So I will be going. I'm going to be casting, so I'm excited for that. Actually casting, not on analyst. So it's been a while. I don't think I've casted. My last event I casted, I think, was Fresno. Other than that, I've been on analyst. So
are you nervous?
I'm not nervous because
it's like your hometown regional. You got to defend it, you know.
Defend it? No, the only thing I'm nervous about is it's going to be cold. That's like a whole 5-minute walk to the venue in the cold. Not a fan. It was not fun last year. I'll tell you that because Canada is but no, and then you're going to be there too, right?
Yep, I'm the subject matter expert for VGC, so I'll be behind the scenes. Don't need to carry a suit or anything like that, which I'm actually okay with. I can just
that means that you can wear
clothes.
a Halloween costume.
I can. I haven't bought anything yet.
All right. Hear me out.
Oh no.
Basketball shorts, blue basketball shorts, a big yellow SpongeBob t-shirt, and Hulk punching gloves, like the big Hulk fists, your iron hands.
Do I have to paint myself silver to be the shiny, or
you could paint yourself silver. You get some silver body paint.
I don't know if I'm gonna actually dress up at all. I'm just like backstage all day. It's not like anyone's gonna see me, you know.
But like when you're like out and about and like
is that Joe? No, that's Iron Hands.
It would be pretty fun. Like you should look into that.
You could actually like spray paint like the Hulk hands blue.
I think I've run out of time. Maybe might have enough time to Amazon Prime, like 2-day shipping something, but I
just
I
go
might
to
have run
a
out of
Spirit
time.
Halloween. They're everywhere right now.
I can't because the Spirit Halloween that's closest to me took over the Toy Story I'm done. Toys R Us that closed down like a town over from me. So
are you boycotting?
I'm boycotting it because that should be a Toys R Us. This should be Spirit Halloween. They just showed up one day, and now it's a Spirit Halloween.
They closed all the Toys R Us's in the United States. They went bankrupt. They had no money. It wasn't a personal thing.
They should
from
close Spirit
Halloween.
I know they're just capitalizing on a gigantic empty building. I respect the hustle, but I don't have to give them my money.
Apparently not, because you're boycotting them. Just go to a Spirit Halloween in Toronto then or something.
No, then all the sizes will be in like centimeters or whatever.
You're
I don't know what you guys do.
Random stuff. You're getting the most random things. There is going to be things still there. Plus, you get it on Friday. That's like 6 days before Halloween. Everybody knows that like nobody goes and buys costume until like the day of.
Well, so that's the question. Yeah. So, Moxie, you're talking about we could wear Halloween costumes. Which of the days do people wear their Halloween outfit? Because it's like 4 or 5 days before actual Halloween. So is it day 1 Toronto that I break a Halloween outfit? Is it day 2? But then that's a Sunday. Like who dressed up on a Sunday?
In my honest opinion, day 1 and day 2.
I'm not. First of all, I don't even have 1 Halloween outfit right now. I'm not gonna get 2.
You could be regular Iron Hands on day 1 and then shiny Iron Hands on day 2.
Do that, please, please, please.
Oh God.
What will it take? What will it take?
I'll have the silver paint. I think. I don't know if it'll wash
so
off.
Convincing, just the resources.
I know, right? I literally have a silver powder on your face.
No, I don't know that.
No, it's just like a light. It's just like a highlighter, so it won't go all over your face, but it's just like the here and like the here, so you have a nice silver sheen to you. It could work.
I'll think about it. Let's talk about more important Toronto things.
Okay. Which would be?
I don't know. You're the second.
Predictions, I guess.
I was all in on this Halloween costume, but yeah, sure. Regulation E event. So obviously. It's interesting, I think is the good word to say it, with how Regulation E has been going so far. So, thought it'd be good to do some predictions. As usual, our OHKO predictions headed into this event. The first question actually very much so fits into the conversation we had earlier. Which is going to be the highest day 2 dark type Pokemon? Which is interesting because that covers like the King Gambit, there's the Chien-Pao, there's the Chia-Yu, there's any other dark type that comes out of the woodwork?
I have a comment.
Oh no.
It's Chien-Pao and it's not going to be close. King Gambit's going to have an appearance. It's going to be like a lot of King Gambit, but I don't think it's going to be close. I think it's just going to be Chien-Pao across the board.
I don't think that's a hot opinion. I definitely think that Chien-Pao is going to be... We're in such a physical attacking format right now. Like, Chien-Pao is just so good into everything, so...
Well, Sierra, before you vote, I don't want you to waste your vote here, so I'll give you some context of how Lille shaped out. So, day 1, Chien-Pao, 17.6% usage, highest usage dark-type Pokemon. Chi-Yu was 16.4%, so literally 1% less usage in the overall field. Then day 2 gets even wackier. Chien-Pao goes up to almost 21%, obviously still the highest dark type, but then King Gambit goes onto the graphic, wasn't even on top 12 in day 1, up to almost 17%, and Chi-Yu falls off the graphic in day 2. So there's like some volatility with these 3 dark types.
In my opinion, King Gambit is very much a day 2 Pokemon. Like I think it is like only like really, really good players like know that you should be running King Gambit, like and when to bring it and what games to bring it to. I feel like it's like a skill check Pokemon. I don't know how to explain it.
See, I feel like if anything, you're just like selling me even more why the answer should be Chien-Pao here. When like looking at just like the Pokemon and stuff, like, oh, it made its way up to like 16% with the King Gambit, but it's like I still think like Chien-Pao is just a little bit more like everywhere.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
There's also like the whole fact too that the meta that we see between NA and Europe is always a little bit different, hence like the Among Us issue. I think that there is some diehard King Gambit players that are going to be really, really good that do make an appearance. I just think there's going to be a lot more Chien-Pao.
I think that's fine. I think for the fun of it, I'll say Chi-Yu. I think it is a possibility, but based on fun, we all have different answers. But Chi-Yu is just that Pokemon to me that like I would much rather play Ogerpon, Hearthflame, or Heatran every single time. But for some reason, many of our VGC friends continue to bring Chi-Yu to events and miss all of their overheats and heat waves. So
I love facing Chi-Yu. I'm a Terrifier Iron Hands enthusiast.
I really don't understand why people keep bringing Chi-Yu, but every time we look at that top 12 graphic, that little fish is sitting there. So that's my guess.
Little fish. Yeah, I have a love-hate relationship with Chi-Yu. Love to hate it, mostly, but it's okay. So we got Chi-Yu and 2 Chien-Paos. Next one. This is just an over-under, so somebody's going to be agreeing here. Landorus over or under 54% day 1 usage?
What was it at day 1 usage at the previous event?
At Lille, it was 53.8%.
I'm going to say about the same. I think it's over.
It's over.
I'm going to say, well, I think it'll be, I'll say over, but I think it's going to be actually at 54.
So if you're curious, day 2, it's not our answer. I'm just having a conversational point among friends here. Day 2 Landorus usage, still number 1 Pokemon, but only at 46%. So I just think that was an interesting point.
Oh, wait, day 2 or day 1? We're
no.
Day
so
1,
we're predicting day 1. I'm just adding on to the conversation.
Over.
That in day 1 it was at 54%. So that's what we're saying will be over. I think this is going to be a bummer answer since we're all going to have the same thing, so we're either all right or all wrong. The way that Sierra and Moxie mentioned that Amoonguss might be more prevalent in Europe, I think America are heavy Landorus gamers throughout all of history, and especially these first couple of Regulation E events. North America was definitely on the train of dethroning Fluttermane and Iron Hands with Landorus number 1 overall usage, I believe, in Peoria. So I think it's going to be significantly higher than 54%. But
oh, dang,
you guys are going conservative at 54. Since we all gave the same answer, do we want to have like a secondary for fun portion of it, of like what percent? Like I will say day
54.
1, I'll say like 58%.
I'm going to go 51.
That's under.
That's
oh, sorry. I thought we were going over under 50.
No, 54.
No.
Oh, 54. No. Okay, sorry.
It's a good podcast. You should listen sometime.
Yeah, no, sorry. 55. Just barely.
5. All right. Price is right in it. I see how it is. It is what it is. All right. So 54, 55, 58. Next question. How many Regulation E Pokemon on the winning team? Considering the fact that the Lille did not have any Reg E on winning team. One would have been my answer, but I'll say 2. I'll say 2 just to.
So Ogerpon and who? Who else do you think?
Yeah, I'm just thinking specifically Ogerpon.
Could it be Sinistra? Could it be Blood Moon or Saluna? Like, what do you think in that second slot?
Genuinely, I don't know. I just pulled up the list and I was like, oh shoot, what other Reggie Pokemon were there? And the first thing I saw was a Komao. I do not think that's going to be it, but like, you know what? Like we're messing around. We're having fun.
Well, if we look on that Komao team, because somebody used it in Europe. I'm trying to find
Rios in 10th place.
Yeah, Rios,
and it only has 1 Reg E Pokemon, but I just don't want to have the same answer anymore, so I'm sticking with 2. You know what it's actually going to be? It's going to be Ogerpon and Blood Moon Ursaluna. That'll be the 2 Reg E Pokemon. The Trick Room's taken over.
You're inspired by Baptiste team here with the Ogerpon Cornerstone version.
No,
you'll get credit for any Ogerpon, you know?
No, I just got wrecked by Blood Moon Ursaluna at the PC I went to.
You got wrecked by Ogerpon too, Cornerstone too. You can't have that many losses if you got top 4.
I had a lot of losses. We'll talk about the PC after Toronto.
My answer is 0, just to be different, just so we have different answers. Let's say people are inspired by Sanvi and decide that they don't need Ogerpon.
Okay. Like all different answers. All right, I like this one. Our next question. because this is the Toronto Regional Championships up in Canada, our first Canadian event of the season. How many Canadians in top 8? You gotta stop answers. I was gonna say 2. I'll say 3 then. We had a great Canadian turnout at Vancouver. Obviously, it was like Sempra won. Ryan Lassetto got second. I forget who the rest of top 8 was, but there's 2 Canadians right out the gate. So,
well, yeah. Marcos, this is at sometimes an audio podcast for people who listen on the go, so they didn't see how many fingers you put up. If you'd like to verbally announce your answer,
2.
2
I think
Canadians.
it's going to be 2.
Now you guys make me look like the bad guy, right? Because my answer has to be either 1, which is like mean-spirited, saying only 1 Canadian's going to top cut the Canadian event.
But
or
you're
it's,
right.
Or it's 4, which is like overzealous. Like, okay, now we're giving too much credit to the Canadian players there to be half of it. So
what do you mean too much credit? You know, on the TCG end, the Canadians won Pittsburgh and Peoria.
Okay, where's our Radiant Charizard in VGC? Where's our Mew VMAX in VGC?
I'm just saying, Canadians are cracked.
Unbiased perspective. All right, I was gonna say 4 and be nice, but now that Miss Canada herself is hyping them up, I'm saying 1 Canadian, and I guess we'll all understand who that 1 Canadian will be from our next question.
It'll be me. I'm just kidding.
That would be impressive.
That would be. Casting and
you
playing.
Just hold up the stream every round because you have to play your best of 3 after
I still
casting.
have to play my match.
It's like Smash or like fighting games. Like someone's like, "Oh, I gotta hop off of commentary. I got my pools are starting," and like their whole pool is already finished. They were just waiting for the commentary block to end.
All right. Well, our final question, because it's always the pot shot. Like we're just going for it. Who will win? Right out of the gate, I want to claim Sempra here because I know Marcos down there is going to, because he's been getting in as fast as he can for all the answers. We can't have the guests feel too welcome here. Plus, we need different answers for this one, and I got my answer stolen by Beck a couple weeks ago. But yeah, there's my answer.
The good news for you, Sierra, is going forward, Sir Joseph Ugarte is now off of your cooldown list. So
is
for the
Luca
next
going?
Prediction event, you can use Joe again.
I'm waiting for Portland to pick Joe again.
Okay.
Is Luca going to this event?
I'm not 100% sure.
King Gambit Luca.
Okay, well, because it's a fair question, because I was considering picking Luca Paz as my answer. So there are
I'm
two.
not just considering it. I'm
viable
deciding
Lucas.
it right now. It's him.
Which
He's
Luca are you locking in?
Luca Paz.
Okay, cool. I guess I can't.
You know, the one I was referring to just a moment ago.
Yeah, definitely the same Luca, and not just stream sniping me. I can't even think of a better word.
I said I'm going Luca, and then you said Luca Paz. I was like, yeah, Luca.
All right. Well, I have my backup plan here, and I'll go with the heart of Canada, and I'll go with the fissure champion of the world, and that is Fiona Shimkevich. So Fiona is going to crush it. I don't think she's going to need fissure this time around, and maybe she plays Luca in top 8 again, and it's a fissureless matchup, and she gets the dub. But I'll be rooting on a Canadian to win, and Fiona's my pick.
Fissureless behavior.
Canada. Yeah, I feel like Sempra's just a safe bet considering one Vancouver.
I would love to pick a duel, but I knew
I know that's why I picked right out the gate. I picked right out of the gate, but I have to restate my reasons for the viewers that maybe missed out on the history here on why he's one to pick. But one Vancouver, very first regional, won the entire thing. Won 2 PCs, the only 2 PCs he's played, to then get his Worlds invite. Or was it like a PC MSN? I don't know what it was, but he played very little, won everything, and then top 8'd Worlds. It's like the most insane rookie season of all time. So this will be the first regional he's competing at this season. So
and pro Valorant gamer. Don't do my boy dirty like that. Come on.
He's okay.
I mean, I think anyone would be a pro in your eyes. You're really bad.
Oh no, don't do him like that.
Oh, it's so true. And it's not even a diss.
I'll own up to it. Yeah, I played once in the lobby with them. I was the other Joe, as Ugarte was going for some sick plays and dying the whole time, and I was very unprepared for that Valorant lobby. So I will own up to it.
It's okay. One day I will leave. But yeah, those are our predictions. Anything else? I'm kind of curious going into Toronto because Reg E kind of is like, it seems normal, and then it's like, maybe quite not, you know?
I did have one point that we were actually talking about in the pre-show here about Hisui and Arcanine, how now after Lille, with Sacramento, Lille, and Peoria, that is now 3 consecutive major events that Hisui and Arcanine has won. Obviously had 2 different versions, right, with the Choice Band version compared to around Sammy's end compared to Michael's, Citrus Berry, more defensive Will-O-Wisp and Howl version. So I just want to get your takes on where you think Hisui and Arcanine is in the meta right now, and will it go 4 for 4, a 4th consecutive regional win?
I think 4 for 4 is just in the cards. I think it's just that that Pokemon right now. It just is that Pokemon.
Yeah, which is funny because playing Hisui and Arc, I'm always like, it doesn't feel great.
That's how I feel, yeah.
But then going up against it, it's like, oh, this doesn't feel great. So it's just one of those Pokemon. I feel like that. But yeah, I'll say the 444. I think at the end of the day too, it's one of those things that it's it's a Pokemon that just could work in a variety of slots. So it's kind of works on a good amount of teams. It's not something you specifically have to build around. It's just kind of all right, this is great to throw in here for this coverage. So
can I share an honest to goodness hot take?
Oh god.
Why start now?
Oh, is this what you were alluding to earlier?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has to do with Hisui and Arcanine.
Please go. The floor is yours.
Okay. So, you know how King Gambit's everywhere again?
Mm-hmm.
And you know how Urshifu's pretty cool?
I've heard.
So the way that we dealt with he was gonna think I'm insane. The way that we dealt,
laughing at his own joke.
The way that
not even joke.
The way that we dealt with King Gambit in Reg A when it was sort of starting to pop in, was this little dude called Mirror Herb Tauros. And I legitimately think that Mirror Herb Tauros does have a place in the metagame, specifically because of how positive it does into King Gambit. And the fact that it's able to outspeed and burn many Ogerpon because they're not running max speed at the moment, while also copying Embody Aspect from the Fire one. And even, it's literally just the existence of setup. There's setup literally everywhere right now.
Can't you just put the Mirror Herb on the Arc?
No, because the Arc doesn't benefit from the Mirror Herb as much as as much as the Tauros would, because King Gambit can actually hit the Arcanine for Terra Dark +1 Black Glass's Sucker Punch and have it KO. It can't, because Tauros resists. It also is able to go neutral into Arcanine, where in Arcanine it's sort of speed tier dependent, because the Arcanine gets hit super affected by other Arcanine's Rock Slides.
You've put a lot of thought into this.
I know I put a lot of thought into this because I hit top 20 on ladder with it the other day.
So I respect the Tauros, Paladin Tauros, was it Blaze breed or whatever?
Yeah,
the fire version?
Blaze breed.
Right. It is a very fast Pokemon, so it is probably one of the fastest Will-O-Wisp-ers in the format, right? So you have
Terra Dragon also very good for it right now.
Right. My concern, at least in North America, would be how's that Lando matchup?
Pretty decent.
I don't know if I believe decent is the correct answer.
Well, think about the exchange that's going to happen there. First of all, I run mine with a Lando next to it. You have double intimidate. It's good, right?
Of course.
Right. So you're not gonna go, oh, I really want to lead my Tauros into this Lando. But if it happens, the Lando's intimidated, you're intimidated, but only you have the option to burn them.
But he's faster than you.
So what is he gonna do? U-turn out? Oh no, you know.
Or Terrablast or Stomping Tantrum.
You live the stomping tantrum, right? But also, like, if you think they're gonna Terrablast, just switch into your Lando, you know?
I thought he's already on the field. You
yeah,
said you
he's
were
right
leading
next to
both.
you.
Oh, sorry. No, if you all right, no, then I'm not concerned. If you lead Lando and the Tauros into another Lando, just go for the burn. You're gonna live.
All right, then he turns out.
Then you turns out, what are we doing here?
I'm just saying, I like where your head's at with your Paldean Tauros. I'm happy you topped the ladder with it. But
Not top, only top 20. It's different.
top 20. Your top 4 VGC content creators, top 20 VGC players. It's simultaneously. So I just worry that you're not following your own advice on using. Don't just use a Pokemon that when a better version of it exists.
No, trust me. You're not. No, Tauros. The closest comparable thing is Hisui and Arcanine. That's the closest comparable thing, and I think Tauros
It's
is
won 3
different.
regionals in a row.
Yeah, no, but it's different. It goes positive into Hisui and Arcanine. You threaten those close combats. You have better physical bulk overall. If you don't know, Tauros has some really good defense on it. Hisui and Arcanine, despite being made of rock, is like 80 defense. It's really weird. Yeah, no, it's a cool mon. Also, you outspeed Urshifu, Terra Dragon, burn it. Who cares? What up? You know.
I think that's your claim to fame here. I don't think you should be touting the Lando matchup. I think you should be touting how it does into Urshifu.
It's literally just the King Gambit and like other Ogerpon. That's what I use it for. It's really fun.
I wish you the best of luck. You're not going to Toronto, right?
No, my next event's San Antonio.
All right, well, somebody else is going to win Toronto in your honor with Paldean Tauros.
I'm not saying they're gonna win. I'm just saying like if someone had the guts to do it, they'd do well.
No.
But no one has the guts. Sempra.
Not even Ursaluna has the guts, but
That's
its ability. That's its ability, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be here all week.
That was bad, but that's okay. But
you know what's not bad? Sierra's sick Premier Challenge gameplay. That was my segue.
whoa, that was a good segue. That was good.
I learned from the best.
Not me. That's yeah. No, I went to my first PC this season, so I want to try and get an invite. Absolutely no clue if I will be able to, considering casting and stuff. Considering I have worked every regional so far this season. I'm working Toronto and I'm working LAIC. The internats are definitely huge for getting championship points, so I'm really grateful that we get to cast that actually.
Yeah.
That does kind of mess with my invite thing a little bit, but
what if you just bomb out of casting like day 1? Or like what if you play and then bomb LAIC and then we just pick you back up for day 2? Like nothing
just
happened.
Pick you up for casting. No. So it's still possible regardless to get the invite. So basically I forget who it was that did the math on it, but if you hit top 4 at every small event, like every PC, MSS you go to, you hit top 4 and get your best finish limits, hit all the events you can, you get like 250 points.
Oh,
roughly.
yeah, you can farm.
Yeah, and that's only top 4. Top 4 gets 12 points at a PC. Winning gets 30. So you just take a couple of like those top 4s into wins and then get pity points at a regional or 2, or like pity points at an internet. Like I assume
pity points at an internet is a lot.
I know.
It's like a fifth of an invite.
Yeah, I got 100 at OCIC for for nothing for TCG a few years back. So I'm assuming EUIC I'm going to try and play at, since I'm assuming that they'll have casters for that with the addition of our European squad. So I'm just going to try and get my 100, 200 points off of that. And I should be good. I could get this, you know?
Yeah, I actually have the time to
awesome.
practice. I'm also going for my invite this year. I said I was last year, and then halfway through the event, I just didn't. Or halfway through the year, I just didn't anymore.
Halfway through the event, you're just at a regional. And you're like,
well, actually, no. Most of my regionals were like halfway through the event. I lose all stamina because of the stupid snail.
Yeah, checks out. How many points are you at any points yet, or?
I only got points at Peoria. I haven't gotten anything from any like small events or anything. So I'm at what, 40?
Morning still.
So I'm gonna be going to some locals soon. Actually, this weekend I'm gonna I'm gonna prove you guys wrong. I'm gonna bring the Tauros, and he's gonna do.
I'm gonna get my 12 CP with Tauros.
Yeah, snot running down my face. That I told you guys he was good.
I'm excited because I got the top 4. So first, this top 4 that I managed to get. So I literally went up against Ugarte first round.
Easy win.
Which was
I saw that tweet and
Free.
I was actually upset when I saw it. Because what should have followed was Joe saying, I gave up the game to Sierra. But I did not see a follow-up tweet.
Yeah, I got 2-0'd. And he took the win.
No mercy.
And then I got absolutely destroyed by 2-2-2. Absolutely no forgiveness. Like, the team I was running, I'm still learning. I got farmed by Terra Normal D-Knight E-Speed. Like, absolutely, it just bopped all of my stuff. So I was sitting at 0-2. And then I got paired up against a junior who actually was going home. And they forgot to drop him.
Nice,
So
we take those.
No, because that absolutely, like, messes up my res.
A dub is a dub.
My hope at this point is that Joe and, I feel bad because I forget his name, but the 222 guy, I just hope that they have to do well enough. Like, Joe has to win out.
Wait,
222 guy was doing really good.
I didn't want to say
Bruh.
it.
Which 222 guy, Conk?
Dude, don't think because you got a
Person
big
at the
channel you can start
PC.
some drama.
I'm
You're
not.
not starting drama over on our podcast.
He's proudly 222. It's not drama.
Dude, the team, like, it hurt.
Wait, which
it hurt
team
my
has
team real mad.
Wait, hold on, but 222 doesn't have Ogerpon Cornerstone on it, so what was the other team?
So it was the same team as the Blood Mooners, so it was the same team.
Okay.
But yeah, so I then got my free win against this junior. And then I got a win. And then against a senior. And then I won my very last round with everybody like around us watching, which was the most stressful thing.
Oh yeah.
And I felt like I was doing pretty good. And there was like the most insane, ridiculous hacks throughout our set. Like I got my Pokemon frozen 3 turns in a row. There was para hacks, there was crits. I set up this perfect game where I should have, it was probably a roll, but I was gonna live on like 2 HP, and then wham, drain punch, be perfect. I got crit. Like it was actually so stupid. I had to go to a game 3. I won, and then top 8. So I made the top 8, and then I went up against the only person that Ugarte had lost to during Swiss. And then I had to go up against him in my first top 8 match. And I was so stressed, and I won 2-0, so I'm pretty proud.
You got redemption.
Yeah, I did. And then I proceeded to get absolutely stomped by Blood Moon Ursaluna and Cornerstone Ogerpon. And then I got absolutely it wasn't even close. There was nothing. I got O2'd, and then Joe played against him in finals, and then O2'd him, like 2-0'd him, like no forgiveness. I was just like, I feel like I was like that false confidence for this guy, and then he goes up against Joe, and it's like, bam, you know. But
you hustled him, yeah.
Why'd you do that to him?
I got my 12 points.
You're a bad person.
Yeah, all right there. All right, buddy. Buddy, I'll remember that. But yeah, I got my 12 points. So
there you go, on the grind.
Yeah, and I'll be playing the PC at Toronto because there is a PC always on the Friday.
What time
I get
is
in on
that
time. I think it's at 1.
No, I can't get there in time.
No. Yeah,
oh my god, I'm so excited. Like when I go to events, I can be there for the whole event now.
Oh yeah, because you don't have to go. Yeah, let's
go. So if you remember, every time I went to an event, it was I show up at like 1 a.m. the day of the event and then leave at like 3 p.m. on Sunday every single time.
Yeah. Now you can actually hang out.
Yeah.
You can get the Friday PCs for the points.
I'm so excited for that.
Let's go. So I won't be at San Antonio, so I will not.
Why am I going?
My bad.
To get
My
CP?
bad.
True.
That's
you
true.
do that. That's
true.
stupid.
Portland?
Oh yeah, no, I'm going to Portland.
Hey yo.
Love Portland.
Yeah, regardless, like because like San Antonio, I'm busy, so like I know I won't be at San Antonio. Next year, I have no idea what's going on, but if I'm invite chasing, anything I'm not casting, I'm going to. So it's like, I will be at Portland. Plus, it's West Coast. My family lives West Coast, so I'm actually that'll be easy to get to. So I'm pumped for that. But
Nice.
we're ever gonna see Joe Brown go for the competing, the invite?
So that's a funny question. It's probably less likely than ever because I was trying to help out on the TO grind this year, helping out some local New York, New Jersey TOs with PCs, and it's kind of fallen through because some of the stores that we've messaged have not been as receptive as we thought they were. So I was planning to help TOs out this year and like be judges and pass out match slips and stuff. But I guess now that's kind of fallen through. I can play it some PCs. Regionals is kind of tough because I don't, as we mentioned when the schedule came out, I think it is kind of ridiculous that there are no Northeast regionals this year. So it's not like there's an easy regional I can drive to. Anyway, the one I had to drive to was Pittsburgh, but that's because it was impossible to fly from the rain.
Because they hate you.
Yeah. So I'm actually not sure. Maybe Marcos and I can split a hotel room to cover some of these costs because it's expensive to fly around for regionals.
Oh yeah, no, it's awful. I hate it. I don't know why I play this game.
It definitely adds up. Like it's definitely something that it's like unless you're like making some money that it's a hey Airbnb with everybody on the my bad. Unless you're making money, you're Airbnb with like 6 other people.
Like I unironically, like not just because of costs of regionals, but that does help. I unironically think that we should have player cups again. Like it doesn't have to be streamed. We don't need to put all of the crazy, effort in like we did during the online era. But like ways that are more significant than the international challenges that are just the crazy best of one to earn championship points without having to leave your house. I think that would be like a once a year Players Cup. I think would be really good for the community. But
100%.
Probably crazy.
Yeah, I always because I definitely don't disagree. Don't get me wrong, especially too when you're looking at the online international, like the online challenges and just like how lit they are. My one thing with like the Players Cup for like invites, especially if nothing's streamed, is there can then be like ghosting, people playing for each other, like an etc. of like other things, which I think that gets into really murky waters if it's once a year and then other people are like spending thousands and thousands of dollars to get their invites. But like if they just figure out how to fix that, like I think being able to not have to spend that thousands of dollars is a great thing because that's a huge barrier to entry.
Winning a Players Cup doesn't give you a trip to Hawaii. It just gives you the 200 CP. You know what I mean? Like that way you still have to get to what do we have 500 for an invite for VG. So like there's still incentivizes you. Right. But you don't get the Hawaii trip. Yeah, if you want the Hawaii trip, you have to go win it in person.
And like do something. Yeah. Yeah, because like we have so many more points we need this year. It's so expensive to be going around. Like, it gets to be a lot. Even, like, my 12 points that I got. Like, that was... Like, I was literally coming back from a different event in Vegas. And to make things, like... I was either going to have to drive hours home and then hours back. Or spend $150, $200 for a hotel. So, like, even for, like, a small PC for 12 points, there's still, like, there's food for the day, there's the hotel. Even if it wasn't hotel, that was going to be probably $100 in gas. Like, it was my whole day. So.
I'm planning on farming locals. I'm going to go to, like, all my locals because I can take a train to them from, like, where I live. And that is pretty cheap. But also, like, I don't know. If I can farm these locals effectively enough, I don't have to go to as many regionals,
Well, good luck, because a lot of other people farm Midwest locals too. So you can't all get first and second because
you don't get it. I have a cheat code now. This is just all I do.
It does actually really help when you don't have a 9 to 5 and like getting invites. Like, even just you, Mister, just quit his job. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, I don't know yet, but I will.
The fair, but it's like yeah, if you're work from home, you're work remote or any of that, like
Just
that's
getting
also
games in.
so nice.
Yeah.
Or like, I just meant about actually being able to go out to events. The amount of times I see in a Discord, like, oh, I can't go to this because I have work, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not a friendly schedule to work around if you want to play Pokemon at a decently high level.
Especially the back-to-back weekends. I mean, you're a trooper for Peoria into Sacramento, Sierra, and
Yeah, how
into
did you
Vegas.
do that?
Like, you are crazy.
It'll never be as bad as OCIC into Knoxville.
That should have been legal. That was crazy.
It's a whiplash. That sounds like whiplash, dude.
It was dreadful. OCIC, I didn't like. There was no jet lag going over. I hit OCIC. I was drinking those raspberry lemonade energy drinks. I was feeling good about my life.
Those.
I hit Knoxville, dead. Like, I actually thought I was gonna perish. Peoria into Sacramento was also hard. I mean, Sacramento had everything else going on, all the travel issues too, but like, I was just sitting at the hotel, like, Friday night, like, you know, at like these regionals, like, we all like to go out and eat and hang out. People will play games in the lobby, etc. I literally sat in my room, ordered some really bad barbecue, and watched Jeopardy and Wheel of Fortune, and then fell asleep at 8 o'clock. Like, I was so tired.
So real.
Grandma Sierra over here.
But like, it's just all the traveling. It's, oh my gosh. And then I just had Las Vegas for that Dead Drop event. I just got back and now I'm heading out to Toronto. Oh my god. I'm tired.
Oh yeah. If you guys know of any events that need a guy to talk on a microphone, I currently have availability. And I've been told I have a soothing voice.
The voice, the face for radio is what they say?
Yeah.
Oh my. You get one dig a podcast of the guest. That's your second one.
He was just saying about his voice. That is just the saying when somebody says something about their voice being good on stuff.
All right, well, that means I can't throw a dig at Moxie because you used up mine, essentially.
Yeah, my bad.
Good.
My bad.
I was starting to get sick of it. You guys are mean.
It says Mr. comes on the podcast. Yeah, I actually don't want. Like, but yeah.
I totally forgot the name of your podcast, too, because I don't listen.
I forgot the name. Yeah, talk to me when you have as many views on your videos as I do.
I'm hiding my OHKO podcast t-shirt underneath my shirt.
Do not start undressing on our podcast, please.
Or if you do have it, actually do undress, because we could get some merch started.
It's actually just a tattoo. The KO are between, and then the O's. Sorry.
I love this imagery. This is what I'll think about all night.
Okay, interesting, but
diehard fan of the show.
Perfect. That's
bro. I've been there through all the Moxie days. Like, I'm a diehard fan of the channel. I've been there since the jump.
See, Marcos, the real question is we're approaching the end of the podcast. If you are this diehard fan, what is the last segment that we're gonna do today? And you're not allowed to look at the Discord and cheat.
It's the sign-off where we say goodbye. That's usually the last segment of any podcast.
That's not a segment. That's not how the language works. There's a final segment and then you sign off. You can't say the sign-off is a segment. That's not the English language.
All right. Well, we talked about it earlier. Question of the question.
Question of the week.
Yeah, because we discussed it. That's the only thing we haven't done yet.
Yeah. Good job. Good job. See, okay. Still fake fan, but you figured it out. So we won't roast you on that. For question of the week, I have to go find it because I lost it.
Good. Good job. Great start.
In the Discord. Yep.
Oh, I have it.
I found it.
Okay,
oh, you have it? Okay.
Nope, I lost it. God, I hate my life.
All right. No.
MJ,
got
you have it?
I have it. And I'm so sorry, but I have OBS open, so it won't actually show me your username to give you the proper shout out.
AMJ. AMJAE.
Okay. Yeah, okay, you're good. So you got the shout out. So asking the question, what Pokemon would you like as a pet? And we got this question from our Discord, so if you want to join in on that, as well as other Pokemon discussions, we do a lot of talk about team building and Pokemon in general, make sure to join the Discord. But yeah, what Pokemon would you like as a pet?
I'll go last because I'm right.
So this is a fascinating conversation because the question is, like, if you choose something, does it stay that way or does it evolve with you as you grow over life? Like, if you choose Growlithe, does it stay Growlithe forever, or when you turn 25, does it become Arcanine? Like, that's kind of where I'm at right now. Like, what's our stipulation?
Well, I feel like the Pokemon is like allowed to evolve and stuff, but I'm just thinking if you're picking a Pokemon that evolves, you probably picked the wrong Pokemon.
Really?
Yeah, you're kind of right.
Why is that?
I'm just saying, there is like 1,000 Pokemon out there. If you're picking like a Squirtle, they have a Blastoise, like, I don't know.
But you can have things that stay cute and stay, pet-like. Like, Herdier evolves, but, like, it's still
like,
is a
why
dog.
don't you get a Pokemon that's actually going to add value to your life? Like, you can get a Golden Go and have unlimited money. And if you want something cute that's going to stay in your life, get a cat. Like, you know what I mean?
Well, I mean, in this Pokemon world, there's only Pokemon cats. Like, there's not like a regular cat.
I think there is, like, actually, like, they're maybe just hiding, but, like, there's regular
You'd have
fish.
to get a
They eat them.
Meowscarada or something, or a Sprigatito.
But that's not what I'm going to pick as my pet. I'm okay with having an ugly pet if it's going to add, like, that value to my life. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like it's just, like, a waste being like, I'm going to get this Sprigatito.
This is. I think this might be our most heated question of the week conversation.
Oh no, I already know the right answer. I'm just waiting.
I know, you're sitting on it. I'm trying to.
Is it going to be that a Ditto so I can have every Pokemon?
No. My answer is much more nuanced.
Oh no.
All right. What are the benefits of a pet? Let's really dive into this conversation here, Sierra.
Companionship, love, brotherhood.
But like, we're
protection,
like
potentially, right?
Sure.
Yeah, I just like, if you look at like your pets in like the traditional like our world in comparison to like, oh, if you could have a Pokemon, I feel like you also just kind of got to reclassify like what's actually going to be useful to you in consideration of like how impactful this Pokemon could be on your life. In comparison to, you cannot actually have an animal in the real world that will be nearly as impactful in any sort of way, because like a cat doesn't have mystical powers
that we know of.
It's
you don't know what your cats are up to when you're on the road.
Well, I come back and I see that they threw up a fur ball and destroyed a couple of toys in the living room. So I don't know if they're up to much.
All right. I don't know how much longer I can keep the charade up. So I guess if we're not going to do evolving Pokemon.
Oh, you can.
You'll think I'm cringe. You'll tell the internet, oh, Joe's cringe. He chose an evolving Pokemon.
You say whatever answer is most authentic to you, even if it's cringe.
Live your truth.
Live your truth. You can just be like, you're allowed to be wrong.
That's true. Well, Moxie already has the answer, so we're already wrong.
Yeah.
I think you're going to hate this answer because you give me an in plush form, but I'm going to lock in Emolga as my pet. It flies. It's a cuter Pikachu. I think it's immune to Earthquake. If we ever got earthquakes wherever, I'm living, it's not going to get hit by it.
It's not going to get hit by it.
Good.
That's a good pet choice.
Good benefit to the pet, yeah.
Yeah.
Never thought about that.
I'm locking in Emolga. That's one of my favorite Pokemon.
I can't believe my cats are going to get hit by Earthquake.
If you have Sprigatito, at least it would be, safe from it. It's not going to hurt too much, but no, you're trashing on Sprigatito.
Oh my god. All right. Well, Marco specifically said he wanted to go last. My answer, which I've thought about this before, is I'd pick Mew. First off, it actually does check your box of it's cute. Also, if you watch the Pokemon anime, Mew is mischievous and it's fun and it's a good time. Also, it can literally fly. It also has the psychic powers to make you fly. So you can literally fly. Plus, it can learn transform and transform into any other Pokemon if it wants to. So it's like, you get like the benefit of like everyone likes to pick Ditto, but it's like Mew literally has the DNA of every single Pokemon in its body, and it's cuter, and it's psychic, and it can make
I was just saying, is it a little hypocritical that you trashed the Ditto answer?
That's what I was thinking.
You chose Mew?
My thoughts exactly.
Hey, I'm just saying, like, everyone goes for the Ditto, but it's like you got to think a little bit deeper than that.
Everyone's
Mew
wrong.
is the correct answer.
Everyone's wrong.
Use the right one.
All right,
No.
now it's time to figure out the correct answer to this question. Moxie Boosted, if you were to have a Pokemon as a pet, who would it be and why?
Call him by his real name, Mr. Boosted.
No, Mr. Boosted is father. Call him
Oh, it's
Moxie.
Mr. Moxie Boosted.
What is a pet? It is a source of companionship, love, someone or something to come home to that will always be excited to see you.
If you say Mr. Mime, I'm ending
A
the stream.
Pokemon as a pet needs to fulfill all these roles and then some. But what is a pet other than a best friend? Please refer to the chat box as I reveal to you the correct Pokemon.
All right, pulling up Discord.
Now, imagine, before I send it, imagine this Pokemon sitting on your couch, waiting for you to come home. Bag of potato chips in his lap. He has not done a single thing all day. It's Drowsy. Drowsy sits there with his big belly and a bag of potato chips. He has no job. He has no thoughts. He only knows how to eat the Oreos from your pantry. And honestly, that's all he needs to do to keep you happy.
Why am I? You're saying that he's just sitting on the couch eating potato chips. He's
He
going to
doesn't
eat the
even know how
Oreos
to
and
eat
the
potato
companion.
chips. He
I'm like,
only
this
knows how
doesn't
to
even
eat
sound like a
Oreos.
Pokemon anymore. This sounds
Drowsy
like
Drowsy is the
Marte. What are you
perfect
talking about?
Drowsy is the perfect intersection of pet and roommate.
I'm so
You
upset.
can
that-
literally have this as your roommate if you wanted.
Yeah, but he's a Pokemon, so
I knew you were going down the Mr. Mime path. Like
it's not
Drowsy
Mr. Mime.
just-
Mr. Mime's disgusting. Drowsy got kind of a
Mr.
cute
Mime
vibe
is-
to him. Got kind of
Oh
a
my
cute
God.
vibe to him.
That's
Look at his
I
little
was
mud
not
pants.
expecting
Look at his
Drowsy.
mud
Oh.
pants.
that's so funny.
Just imagine, like, you can teach Drowsy to play the Nintendo 64. I guarantee you, he's got thumbs.
It'll take him a while. He's a little
Do you-
slow.
Arcos, do you just need friends?
No, I got lots of friends. I just think that if I needed to, I've thought about this a lot on Pokemon Go. On Pokemon Go, I like caught a Drowsy in my apartment when I was in college, and I said, "Hey, there's this dude in the living room, and I don't know his name." And then my buddy Levi, he was my roommate, and I was like, "What?" And he's like, "Yeah, there's this dude on the couch." Like, and he's like, "Who? Send me a picture." And I was like, "Yeah, he says he knows you." And I send him a picture of Drowsy. Just Pokemon Go, like just right on the couch, and he's like, "I hate you, man." And ever since then, I thought about it. I'm like, no, Drowsy is the ideal Pokemon pet.
Couldn't possibly have given a worse answer, and that's what we appreciate out of you.
Hey,
Just like a little nod after.
You
Like,
brought the heat today, Marcos. All right, you
All right.
matcha gotcha'd us.
comments? It's Drowsy, right? Like, I'm not crazy here. It's Drowsy. Did I not sell you on the image of Drowsy eating Cool Ranch Doritos on the couch?
I feel like
No, it doesn't
majority
even
of
know how to
Pokemon-
eat chips. You said it only knows how to eat your Oreos.
You know how to eat
No, it
whatever's in your
only-
pantry. Can't use a can
I-
opener though.
Okay, that's fair.
I feel like a majority of Pokemon could sit there and eat Cool Ranch Doritos.
But he's got the
so-
ideal
Good
body
point.
for it. Look at that. That's peak performance. That's couch body.
I'm sure you could find quite a few Pokemon with a belly. Munchlax,
Belly bolt.
Snorlax.
All right. But the
Buzzlord.
posture.
He's like any Pokemon could do that.
No.
You picked the one
No,
screenshot.
no. He's evolved to do this.
You know who can do Drowsy? Mew, because Mew can do every Pokemon. So
Yeah, but
I'm
that's
sure
not
Mew
the right
would
answer though, because that's
mess
hypocritical.
up a bag of Cool Ranch Doritos.
Yeah, but Mew would also be able to like count the calories in it and feel bad. It's too smart. Drowsy, no. You know?
I
Drowsy.
feel like that's like I'm okay. Yo, if this Mew is gonna calorie count on my food, like that's just a bonus. Like
No,
That's a
no.
you're
great
selling
pet,
me on
yeah.
this. Yeah.
No, you need Drowsy around just to let you know that sometimes it's okay just to be all right, you know?
Okay.
Just to be okay.
okay, I respect the Drowsy. However, it's not immune to Earthquake.
Terraflying Drowsy. Make sure you get that. You have to specify it at PetSmart.
Yeah, you have to bring the 50 flying flying crystals with you
Yeah.
when you pick it up at PetSmart.
Also, Drowsy's ability is forewarn. He can let you know when the earthquakes are coming.
But he's not immune to it.
Yeah, but he can tell you to get underneath like a coffee
It's
table
like-
or something.
It's like Mean Girls. It's like it's a 30% chance it's already raining. Like
Yeah.
that's what Drowsy's job is.
I think it's a good quote. That's a good quote. But
I can't handle this anymore, Sierra.
yeah, and we're also hit the point of over 2 hours in the podcast. So for our listeners' sake and maybe our own sakes as well, I think it's high time to wrap this one up. But
My bedtime was an hour
Sorry.
ago.
sorry, bud. You're the one who decided to stream that we had to record so late. But before we actually end things off, Margos, it's been great having you. For the viewers, I mean, I'm sure they can just search up Moxie. They can see easily you have over 100K subscribers. But any other information you want to give them, where they can find you, any last words?
Yeah. So you can find me on X at Moxie Boosted. I am very active there because I have a lot of downtime.
Very is an understatement.
Yeah. Beyond that, some other information you'll probably want. Drowsy's a pure psychic type. Its abilities forewarn. It evolves into Hypno, but you shouldn't evolve it if you want it as a pet. He's only 3'3", so he's kind of like the perfect height just to like, if you need to carry him around, you could probably do it. He's 71 pounds. He also has insomnia on occasion, though. That's his other ability. You should probably keep that in mind. He might stay up late watching movies. That's it.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for all of your insight on Drowsy and Tauros and the other areas in our life where you have enlightened us.
It's gonna be 103,000 subscribers now after this Drowsy
It might be,
conversation.
let me check.
True. But thank you so much, everyone, for listening in. Make sure to be coming back next week as we get to talk about Toronto Regional Championships. Hopefully, I've won a PC by then. And who knows? We'll have a lot more to talk about with LAC around the corner. But thanks again. Make sure to be following us on our socials, OHKO Podcast, and be joining in on our Discord, help with the team. Thanks again. We'll see you next time.